What's up, my people? I just had an amazing experience with the First Nations. Man, I think he was in his mid 70s, he said, 73, 74. Forget what he said. I think he said 73. Name was Joe Laughing Crow. And he lives around here now, but he guess he grew up on a reservation that's near Lake Erie somewhere. And I had a very interesting experience, and what he was saying to me was showing up telepathically in my mind. I was getting certain symbols. It was really intense, and he actually, starting when he was 10 years old, for a few years, he said, was training with a medicine man. And this guy was in front of me at the post office, and he's got like first time he had a flip phone, and he had an old vest on, like a Native American leather vest with an eagle on the back, with a guy holding the eagle up, and Native American. So I gave him a compliment about his vest, and he turned around. He was an old school, gray-haired First Nations Native American dude, you know. And I guess we can't say Native American anymore. People don't like that, right? So I guess it's First Nations. But so when he turned around, his his attitude, like, I think he was like a little bit like annoyed that he was in the post office or whatever at first, or not maybe not annoyed, but I don't think he expected to have like an experience with somebody in there, you know. He was getting like a money order and a stamped envelope, right? And when I heard his voice, something sparked something in me, and I looked up at his vest, and I was like, oh, that's a beautiful vest. So when he turned around and our eyes met, I was wearing sunglasses, but our eyes met through the sunglasses. Like, we had like, it was like a connection right away. And then, he made a comment about my copper necklace. He said thank you he said thank you for me complimenting about his vest, and he complimented my necklace. And what else did we say from there? I forget else what we said, but he's like, yeah, me and my people know about copper, but I recently got this. And he pulled out a necklace, and he had like a little tiny quartz crystal on a pendant, you know, almost like a scrying sort of like, or dowsing little crystal, little, you know, that's on a little pendant on a necklace. He pulled it out. I go, that's awesome, man. You know, I work with stuff like that. You know, I have them on my website as well. He's like, yeah, my friend charged me money for this, like with like an accent. And at first I was like, is this guy putting on like a broken English, old school? Because like his accent was literally like a Native American, like from the 1600s, that's learning English from the first time, or 1700s. Like, this my necklace, this is fun for me. Like, that's how he talked, right? So I didn't know if like it was serious at first. I think he was playing it out a little bit, just for a little bit more like flail, you know what I mean? Because there was certain times in the conversation where he was throwing other syllables in, and you know, using different you know, vocabulary and vernacular. You know, he was actually talking like normal English sometimes, mixing it in. So I don't know, but he did seem really genuine, and I just think he plays the not American thing really well too. Like, you know, like, me no good English, like, but he knew everything, you know, pretty much. But I had a very interesting experience with him though, and he does ceremonies of peyote on the solstice, even in his 70s now. And he said next time they're going to invite me if I wanted to come. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to go and do peyote with the guy, but we were talking. I told him about my ayahuasca experience in the past, and I blew this guy's mind with a lot of the stuff we were saying, what I was saying to him. And he relayed a story to me about an experience that he had with what people call Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And when he told me certain things, I was getting a telepathic view of something. I even heard the sound this thing made when it went back into the spaceship that brought it here. It was very interesting. I couldn't believe this guy, some of the things that we were saying to each other, and he at first was very shocked on his face. Some of the things that I was saying to him, he couldn't believe. And well, he couldn't believe that it was coming out of my mouth, I think. And after like a few seconds of us talking, like I had his respect for sure. And like he was like, can you wait for me outside the post office? So like we waited for each other, and when I got done, we both got done in the post office. We went outside and talked for like 15 minutes, and I gave him a crystal wand. And this is the second wand I've given out in the last couple of days to friends that one was I gave to my friend the other day during the solstice, and one today to this guy. It was like 20 times the size of his little crystal pendant, like a huge wand, a healing wand. And he was like, oh my God, he couldn't believe he took my phone number. And he was like, oh my God, I can't even explain. His name is Joe Laughing Crow, and certain things that he was saying, I was getting telepathic symbols and stories playing out in my head, and imagery of what he was talking about. And I could even feel the ancient ceremonies, fire of the peyote within what he was talking about. So regardless of his accent, whether it's a little bit overdone a little bit on purpose, it's because it's almost like he wants that respect of tradition, and not speaking correct English even. It's like part of him, Hold on. Yeah, my phone's dying. Yeah, so somehow or another, we were talking about spiritual experiences and the peyote and ayahuasca, and he brought up Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and he said something about an experience he had where he said, what do you think they are? He said, do you think they're just physical? I said, no, I think they're actually collectors put here by otherworldly beings, higher dimensional beings that made them as like collectors. They put him here as collectors of DNA, or they put him here to do certain missions in this realm. And he goes, that's very good. He was like, it's very good. He goes, they were made by the aliens. He said they were made by spacemen. He goes, they're put here, and then they're not, and then they're gone, and then they're back on the ship.